Alright guys, picking up where I left off, we're going to start putting the pegs in the right spot. We got the color of red on our peg board, and now we're going to want to start spreading these out. Okay, so I've got 1 meter. They're each spread out by 1. So if I click that one, 0, and then 1. Let's duplicate these. So then I'll do, this one will be 2. The next one will be 3. Duplicate this one. Then we'll do 4. Alright, so that's probably far enough. I don't know, we'll find out. Click this, go back to the first one, and we'll duplicate it. So duplicate. And we'll move it back by -1, so it's going to be going to the left now. I'll duplicate this one. So -2. And I'll duplicate this one. -3. And I'll duplicate this one. -4. Alright, so I've got a whole row of them. Okay. I'm starting to get a whole bunch of pegs here. And it's going to fill up this window. I'm going to go ahead and make a node to hold all of these. So a regular node. And I'm going to call this the pegs. Pegs, like that. And I'll take all of these pegs and I'll put them in there. How do I grab all the stuff like that? Click the bottom one, hold shift, click the top one, and you can grab them all like that. Alright, let's drag and drop them into our folder there. So now when I get a billion pegs, I can hide them. And they're all together, which is useful. Alright, let's grab all of them. And I said click the bottom, hold shift, click the top, and then duplicate. You'll notice that it duplicates all of them. Now I'm going to come over here to the transform, and I was trying to change this by using like click on it and do like 10. So there we go. We moved them all down by 1, which is probably what we want. Now we're going to want to like shift them over half a peg. Now I think this is where I ran into problems. So I want to move this to the right, but getting it absolutely perfect, if you try to just change, like let's say this to 0.5, it's going to put them all on 0.5, and we don't want to do that. So as a maybe there's something we can do with like the snapping. Let's see if we can do snap. Let's say use snap. Let's see what happens here. Oh, that might be the secret. So it's on 0. Alright, so it's snapping by 1. We probably want to snap by half. So I think we can adjust the snapping up here if you click on these 3 dots. Oh man, they changed it. Alright, so I'm going to pause it and I'm going to see if I can figure out how to do the snap, and then I'll unpause it and tell you. Okay, it didn't take me that long, I don't think. So transform, configure snap. I didn't try this yet, but it says snap of 1 for translate. Let's do 0.5. Okay, let's see if that does it for us. Yo, look at that. Alright, so we can move these all over by half. So that'll give us a pretty good deal there. We could even go up. No, is that too small? I haven't really messed around with this, but you know, like sometimes I do these videos, I get interested in what I'm doing. Let's run it and see what happens here. See, I don't know, that might be better than what I even had before. I think there was a bigger gap on my other one. Okay, I'm going with this for right now. Going wild here. Okay, so let's go and we'll duplicate. This row looks like it needs 1 more peg. It looks like it needs 1 more peg on this end. So let me see if I can find that peg. Alright, so I'm going to duplicate that peg. And I'll move it right there. Yo. Okay, now I feel like I need to duplicate those and move them down by 1. So Control D, not half but 2. All right, now let's do that again. Control D, not 1 but 2. Control D, not 1 but 2. Control D, not 1 but 2. Not 1 but 2. Control D, 2. Control D, 2. That's probably good right there. I don't know, maybe one more row. Okay. I don't know, I don't like the last row. Okay. I'm gonna duplicate this next row here. Let's see if I can figure out how to... Okay, so that was that first set. Like, what? All the way up to 5? So, that set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so that's all those. I'm going to duplicate those. Control D. Move them down by 2. This is pretty hectic when you're looking at it. And I bet there's a better way to like procedurally generate that. But this video is trying to get us through the basics of moving around. So that's okay. Check that out. I think that looks good. Let's see how the marble reacts when we push play. Okay, that edge right there, it's stuck. So we can either stretch or move the sides out a hair, or maybe just shrink them a little bit. I don't know. Or change the size of the marble, or move the outside. I think changing the... I think the pegs are good. The left side and the right side, however, they're going to need a little bit of adjustment. So I think on the... we can move the X out just a hair. Let's do the left side, or no, the right side. So we'll do 5.7. No, 5.6. And then on the left side we'll do negative 5.6. Alright, now recreating that may or may not be so easy. Yeah, it fell straight down. Okay, that's okay. I'm not a big fan of it like only falling that far side, but whatever. It's whatever. And that thing's going pretty slow. I don't know how nitpicky I should be about that. Let's play it again. That thing's going pretty slow. Let's adjust the bounce. So I'm going to go to the marble. Let's do 0.45. I'm sure that you guys right now are like doing all kinds of crazy bounces, like super high numbers. Yeah, 0.45 is actually pretty good. Very interesting. Alright. So we got all the pegs put in. Let's make it where the marble repeats. Let's make it where the marble repeats. So when the marble gets to the bottom, I want to put it back to the top. Alright, to do that, we're going to need a detection area. We want to know when the marble gets to the bottom of this plate. So we got the floor. The floor is going to be the one to do that. Let's go ahead and add a node here so we can organize these. And I'll say container parts. So all the container stuff is going to go in there. So I'll grab all of those. And now the container stuff is in its own folder. The floor, good thing I named it. If you didn't name it, you might not know which one's which. The floor, I want to add an area. So add area 3D. This area is going to detect when something touches it. So I want this area to be the same shape as our collision shape. So I'll duplicate this collision shape and I'll drop it into that area. And now I might be able to get away with it being exactly the same size. I'm not certain. But I guess we'll try it with the same size. Let's add a script to the floor. So click on floor, add a script, and this is going to go in our scripts folder. We're going to want to know when something hits it. So I'm going to put a marble. I don't want to wait for the marble to fall through all those little bounces. So I'm going to move my marble down there to it so I don't have to wait so long. Alright, because every time I hit play I don't want to wait for it to bounce off that. Okay, so going back to the floor, our script here, and I want this to be our floor, and for our floor we need to connect a signal that just talks to us and tells us when something's hit it. So this is our floor script. And up in the top right, we're going to click on Node and Signals. If you look under it, there's nothing here when I'm selected on floor or on the static body, but if you click on the area, you'll see that the other signals appear. Under area, I did this with body entered. I wonder is there one for collision? Yeah, see there's not what we need for collision or mesh, so that's why you had to add the area. Now we want to know when a body enters the area, so we're going to use body entered. I'll double click that and I want to connect it to that script I just added, the floor script. So connect. So if something enters that, I just want to print it out. Print body.name, and I'll even just tell me what touched it. Something touched the floor, and then it should tell me the name of that thing. When we first start this though, it'll probably tell us the static bodies that are already touching it, like these three. Let's see what it does. Let's hit play. Nope. But it did tell me that the marble touched the floor. Oh, something touched the floor. So we don't want to know, or we don't want to react to things that are not the marble. So we're going to need to set that up. Up there, that other marble 2 touched it. Alright, I'm going to pause the video or start another video from here. I'll see y'all in the next one.